Hello everyone and welcome to another podcast. Today I'm going to talk about news. And when I'm talking about news, I mean good news and bad news. So let us take a 1 second here to clarify what is good news and what is bad news. The news are the news. In reality, there's no bad news and not good news. The news report an event, a fact that happened, and then depending on our perspective, we class them on the category of bad news or the category of good news. When we hear about death and destruction, sick people, we usually tend to put those news in the bad news category. When we hear about births, parties, scientific breakthroughs, we tend to put those news in the category of good news, which I would like to call, for a better word, positive news. For the last 10 years, I have not turned my TV on at all. I don't watch TV, and if I want to be informed about something, I usually use the internet to find the topics and on the specific topic that I want to look onto. I don't turn the TV on. For the last couple of years, however, I'll be having lunch with my mom almost on a daily basis. She tends to have the TV on because she lives alone for company. And when we have lunch, it's usually news time on the TV. Since this is happening, I am kind of forced to watch the news, or at least listen to the news, because she likes to listen to it. And to be honest with you, I really don't want to turn the TV off. She's really used to it. I know for many years that there isn't anything positive on the news to watch on the TV, especially the mainstream media stations. And recently I just came to reinforce that by watching more news now that I have lunch with mom. As you do know, and many of you have felt, 2020 and 2021 have been two very bad years for everybody on the planet. We had a lot of bad things happening to us, from coronavirus, from people losing their jobs, number of different crises, wars, refugees, lockdowns, many other things. I mean, the list just goes on, and it's really disheartening, all the bad things that happened in those 2 years. Now, watching the news, I've seen that pretty much everything they report in the main media station, it's all in the category of bad news. And not to lie to you, I prescribe on that category of bad news, because when you hear about all the things you mentioned, war, famine, rape, death, murder, they are bad things. And I've noticed that there isn't any good things on the news. There aren't any positive news on the news. And when it comes to the TV news stations, maybe they will report one good thing, like I don't know, a statistic about the birth rate, new people brought to the world or something like that, which also, it can be a bad thing, because if you think about it, you're thinking, with all the crap you just mentioned, bringing babies to this world, I'm not sure if it's a good thing, the way the world is, the way the planet is. Anyways, so I took it upon myself to go online and check the mainstream media websites for the TV stations, for Greece at least, where I am, and have a little look if they have anything positive to report there. I wasn't surprised when I found out that they only have schedules, sport news, financial information, talk shows, upcoming series, upcoming talk shows, upcoming TV game shows, and things like that. I found maybe one or two things about maybe an upcoming reforestation because of the recent fires we had. If that can subscribe on a positive, I mean, it was kind of like expected to happen. So I thought, okay, the TV stations that don't have it, let's go have a look on the newspapers. So I went online and I did check most of the well-known newspapers, not every single thing. And I only found one or two of them in a couple of issues, not on every issue, that they had some positive news to report. And it was pretty much the same line as the TV stations, some sort of reforestation, people succeeding getting to university with very high grades, and above the average anyways. And some I don't know how to describe them, little things, but positive like that. I didn't find any section dedicated to ecology news, scientific news, medical breakthroughs or advancements or anything like that. Or any companies that they have shown innovation, that deal with the environment, or they can provide cheaper materials to bring down the prices, things that would improve the life of people and would be considered positive news for everyone. So this brought another thought to my mind. And the thought that it came to my mind is the human race this bad? You may be wondering, what are you talking about? I have heard in the past that there's no bad news like bad news. What I mean is that the worse the news are, the more they sell to people. And keeping that in mind is like, can it be true that we want to hear bad news? We're interested more in the misery and pain of others. We want to be informed and entertained by that. Like, are we not capable of getting our information or pleasure out of good things that happen to people, out of good news, positive news? It really kind of like made me worried, and I'm trying to figure out this because I subscribe to the people that when I see someone doing well, I want to do well, you know? And I've always thought that people want to hear good news and they want to try and create more good news, more good vibes, you know, good environment. And when someone is succeeding, to try and get where they are or even surpass them, do better than them. But unfortunately, I am coming to realize again, because I believe that I have realized this many years ago, but I've kind of like was in denial. I didn't want to believe it. The fact that people prefer to see someone fail and end up on the bottom. They prefer to see someone doing so bad that they're going to feel good about themselves. And usually that happens when people are not motivated to do well. They don't want to advance. They're like, okay, I'm at this point right now and I'm good. There are worse things, yes, but there's also good things. There are better things. And I believe that we should be striving towards the good things to reach them, surpass them, and do even better. But a lot of people, they see the bad things and they feel good where they are. And when they see a good one, they don't want to go up there because a lot of work. What they want is they want to wish that they fail, they fall down even further down from where they are. So they will feel good about themselves where they are again. And I think that's why the news is selling so good when it comes to bad news rather than anything else. So the reason why I thought this would be a good topic to talk about in this podcast is because I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that might feel that the world is bleak, is dark, there's no goodness left in it. They might be going through some serious hard times because of the 2020-21 situation. And I have to admit that all the lockdowns that put us inside the house haven't really helped a lot of psychology of people. The masks, the rules, the early nights, you know, not able to see your own family, that's putting a lot of strain into a lot of people's psychologies. And sitting home, you'll be forced to either be online or watch the news. And if you keep feeling bad because you're locked up and you also feeling bad because you watch the news, you need to find something positive to hold on. And I went online and trying to find some positive news, mainly for myself, to be honest, for myself, to feel good about myself, see if there's something good happening out there, if, you know, not everything is as dark as I see it on the news or I think they are on the news. And I was surprised how easy it was to find good news. All you guys gotta do is open your browser, go to Google or whatever browser or search engine you're using, and just type either good news or positive news, and you will instantly have 4 sites. I'm going to put in the description the 4 top sites that I found with positive news out there. And these sites, they are covering so many different topics. I was really happy, from health and wellness to parents, food, pop culture, some shows, some other ones they're covering like new companies starting up and the good they want to do in the world, people collecting garbage and plastic from shores. They also report about events and charities and fundraisers that can help people do good things in life, you know, if you want to donate and things like that. There is so many topics that really I would just make this podcast a lot longer than it should be. And I can't believe that these sites exist and we don't get any of this news on all these different categories of news into the mainstream, the TV, the newspapers, in bigger amounts. I would have thought that there would be some spot to fill some more pages in the newspapers, to fill some dead time on TV about this, maybe make a little show every day or something like that, but nothing. And that brought another thought. I mean, how cool would it be if someone actually did make a global channel, a global TV channel, a global radio station that reports positive news only? Because these sites, as far as I can tell, they don't have some sort of a media coverage. I mean, there's no videos or audios, they're all articles, and they're all really short. Well, it's also made me think about this a little bit further, to the reason why this news may just not make it into newspapers or make it into the TV, the TV stations, because they're really short. And from the articles I'm reading about, you know, the bad thing, let's say a murder case, they write extensive articles, 2-3 pages, the big, you know, the fill up loads space. And these ones are a little bit smaller. So maybe that's a reason, or maybe just because bad news sell a lot better than good news. Either way, this podcast was always meant to be a little bit shorter than the other ones that I do, but I hope that if you guys not feeling very well, have a look at the websites in the description. Maybe you will read something that will brighten your day a little bit, maybe your life. Who knows?